Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the eSports Report. Chris Puckett and Jack at the desk. And Jack, I heard you've been holding it down while I was gone. How's the show been?
The show's been great, man. It's a lot of great viewer interaction. Many people were hyped for Gfinity. You know, last week we wound up covering AEL, EGL, the 2K from the week before Gfinity.
Right.
So a lot of people got to see those 12 teams in action. And then finally, it all culminated in the great tournament. You were there, so I'm sure you had a great time.
You know, I am so tired today. Jet lag is crushing me, but I had to come on and do the show because Gfinity, they deserve the attention. It was a fantastic event, $55,000 on the line. First place taking home $30,000, and we have a new champion.
Yeah, Envy definitely came out on top there. They did a fantastic job. In yesterday's show, we did the full recap while you weren't here, and we wound up covering all the different groups and how the bracket broke down. And I think later on this week, we're going to be taking a look at Envy and kind of how they were able to accomplish that. But on today's show, we're going to be looking at the biggest upsets.
That's right. Today's show, we're going to be going over all of kind of the matches that had an outcome we didn't expect to see. Like talking to all the pros and all of the casters before the event. Everyone said, you know, it's probably going to be an Optic EG Grand Final, unless the bracket got weird. Well, the bracket did get a little weird, but not because Optic and EG were playing well, because other teams were really stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, no, definitely some surprising teams. You know, group play wasn't that crazy. We wound up seeing 4 European teams get eliminated. People kind of expected that. I think Epsilon beating Curse, with Curse Tipsy not being there.
Right.
Once again, not really a surprise to people. But then when bracket play started, we saw some upsets like Epsilon taking out Optic, TK being taken out by Optic Nation, and other great ones that we're going to cover today.
All right, guys, before we get to all of those upsets and show you how they went down, we got to take a look at the patch notes. Unfortunately, the update came a day after Gfinity, but now it's here, and let's take a look at what came in this most recent patch. Now, you're going to see, let's go straight to the esports portion here. You see added ability to team names when using broadcaster mode. So pretty big stuff here. This is why I haven't gone to the tab yet. Let's show you. Uh-oh, here he is. Sorry, friends. This is what they mean. Instead of that saying Ghost and this saying Federation, you can now see Optic Gaming and Evil Geniuses has been put here. Jack, I'm told, though, there's a small character limit to work with.
Yeah, that's why it doesn't say Evil Geniuses on the bottom half there. The Reddit user, credit to him, Zpoon wound up putting in there and using it in the custom games. You could see Optic Gaming. It shows it on the player card as well there on the bottom, but there is a character limit, so he wasn't able to fit Evil Geniuses, so we'll probably wind up having to use EG or some acronyms there. But, hey, it's still a great change because it's a lot of times it's tough to be able to tell who's Federation, who's Ghost. It gets really hectic in-game, and for new viewers, it's much easier to keep track.
You know, we really appreciate the fact that Infinity Ward is still supporting the title, still working on these esports fixes, you know, long after the game has come out. It went out last November. So Advanced Warfare, just a few months away, but until then, Ghost still improving their broadcast experience. But that wasn't the only new addition here to the game. They also did something with the hit markers. What did they change up for us spectators?
You know, a lot of times in watching from a spectator's perspective, when you're watching a player get a kill, it's sometimes tough to tell when that guy actually died other than seeing the points pop up. Well, now Infinity Ward went in and they said, you know what, let's make it a little bit more clear to tell when that final bullet lands. It now gives you an orange hit marker at the end, so you can be like, oh, wow, okay, that was the bullet I finished him on. It's much easier to tell, you know, when you finally got that kill.
One other thing I want to point out that you can also see in the same screenshot that was showing you the team names is now the lack of a D-pad thing that was taking up a lot of room here. I think we're now going to see potential to put some player faces here, or it's just a cleaner screen now that we're able to watch.
Oh, yeah, no, that's always a great advancement. I mean, you can, as you just said, you could put in other things, maybe some polls now, some other cool maybe facts about the team and the last time they matched up, so that there's even more information being presented to the viewer. It only adds more substance and more great quality content to the tournaments.
All right, looking through, there was really nothing else that got me too excited. The bomb glitch that we saw time and time again at Gfinity does not appear to be fixed, but let's go through some of the other additional fixes they put in. For S&D, the round not ending when an entire team has been killed. I know some people have been playing online or in GBs. Those were happening. We also saw the big issue in domination where the player could trigger a 10-second cap instead of 5 seconds after stepping off and on a neutral flag. So big improvement there. We saw Clayster already tweeting that
Yeah.
he's lost games because of this. Somewhat of a pretty big deal. A few of the other things that went in through, is more cosmetic. They've added some extinction updates and a few other features that really don't affect us on the competitive side. But we do have to say thank you to Infinity Ward for the most recent patch. My question now is, when are we going to get this bomb glitch finally fixed?
Yeah, that's definitely something that needs to be fixed. As when it comes into games, I mean, it happened countless times this weekend. It's frustrating from a spectator's end, but even more from a player's end, because here you're in, let's say, a game 5, and now it happens to you in a big round. Maybe you have momentum. Now it's got to stop. You got to restart. You got to get all these things in order. So it's just frustrating all around. Hopefully we can get a fix for that, but I'm sure Infinity Ward is definitely working on it.
Well, guys, let's wrap this first segment by telling you where you can see this new broadcaster tool being used. We're going to be doing a show tomorrow night. Revan and I are going to be casting from here. Jack, who are our teams tomorrow in our Scuff Gaming Showdown?
We got 2 great teams tomorrow. We have Optic Gaming and Optic Nation. Now, it was just tweeted that Nadeshot wouldn't be able to play because he's out on a trip. Hopefully he's back in time. I know that they're trying to work with the league there, but it should definitely be a great match to see there, and other great matches going on tomorrow night. I know we're going to be looking into the whole match schedule later on in the show, but only more great Call of Duty action coming up this week and later on in the COD League Season 3.
All right, guys, going to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're talking about both of the teams that will be in tomorrow's Scuff Gaming Showdown. Optic Nation, a big story at Gfinity. We'll tell you how they fought their way to a top 4 finish.